Shad, you've been giving 40 plus years where you've been in the mix on collegiate ministry. So why have you done that? Why do you think that's strategic?
Well, Paul, I would appreciate you using illustrations like movies that are a little more that I can relate to better, and so like Gone with the Wind, stuff like that. That was really during my era, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. I made a statement years ago. It's really stuck with me that college students are and will be the leaders of every facet of society, and that they are the most recruitable, trainable, and sendable category of persons on planet Earth. And I still believe that. Obviously, I love all the different types of ministries and churches and works that are going on around the world, but we are a little bit particular and about college ministry. There's that little sliver of life, right? This little between, youth and maybe the real world, where you get a chance to really find out who you are and the decisions that these students make during their college years. Those 4 years, or for me, that was more like 5 or 6, Paul. Those are some life-altering, foundation-building type of decisions. And so if you can get hold of a student, I was spending time with students this morning and last night, and, I'm just kind of a campus worker wannabe. I can tell one of these guys is so close to receiving Christ. And when he does, man alive, I can tell that he's going to want to really make a difference. But he's single, and he's forming his own convictions. And he's going to blast off into some world-changing things, I believe. So, yeah, you're right. We're catching them at a time that is really strategic, I think. And so what are some things that you've seen in students change over the year? College students change over the years. That's a good question, bro. I get at that question asked, off and on at times, and in some ways, they haven't, Paul. I mean, I think they still have a cause orientation. They want to make a difference. They want to, change things. And so this generation, they're looking for causes. Right. And they're picking all kinds of causes. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are causes, some temporal. I don't want to, I want to be careful not to criticize, all these other causes, but let's face it, biblically, the person and purposes of Jesus Christ on this earth, I think that's the mother of all causes, if I may use that phrase. And so I think that's what we're trying to point people to. Have students changed? I think we have a little more sophisticated ways of sinning, of destroying our lives.
Yeah.
I go in. I take my grandson into the local arcade or something to race go-karts, and there they are in those virtual things, and I'm going, oh my word! I shudder to think, what this generation of students will get into with the technology that seems to be changing every day. So. Yeah, I think they're really. I know I go to these seminars and they'll do all the different PowerPoints about boomers and millennials and Z, X and Y and Z generations and all that. Those are interesting things, but I don't know. Students are students, and I still, here I am 45 years later, still hanging out with them and love them and enjoy them. And you know what? I think they like and enjoy me too.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, I like you. I enjoy you. I totally agree that these basic principles of spiritual multiplication, evangelism, disciple making, mission mobilization, those things are always going to work on the college campus until Jesus comes back. Yeah. Now, we may have to slightly tweak our methods and adapt our technology and things like that, and maybe the way we dress and talk and all that. But, man, the things that have been most fruitful in my ministry are things that I learned from people like Dawson Trotman or Bill Bright, the guy that founded Crew. So people that have been pace setters and things like that in the collegiate ministry world, a lot of these things are still so foundational. And actually, that's one of the things that we want to do with this podcast is we want to actually communicate the old school, back to the basics, evangelism, disciple making, mission mobilization, how to do that on the college campus. Shad, can you tell us a little more of your heart behind that? I know that's something you've always been wanting to just stay focused, stay in your lane on those three things, EDM. And can you tell us a little bit of where that terminology came from?
Sure. Again, like I said, there's all kinds of causes and different types of ministries that are going on around the world, and some of them are very close to the heart of God. I pray for them, I give to them, I support them, but it's just in this day and age, Paul, when it can be politically incorrect to be a born again Christian who believes there's only one way to God, and that's through Jesus Christ. I mean, that sounds pretty narrow, pretty exclusive, pretty judgmental in this day and age. And yet, are we going to embrace the gospel? Or are we not? And so how do we get people, especially students, the collegiate body of Christ around the world, back to the historical, traditional, biblical Great Commission? Yep. And so, I've just been calling that for a number of years, EDM. And I'm sure that hashtag is all over, the internet. I see it all the time. I don't think it stands for electronic dance music. Do you, Paul?
Yeah.
No.
I see you use that hashtag, and I'm like, bro, I don't think...
Bro.
We started getting these DJs following us.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Forget the hashtag. Well, EDM, it stands for evangelism, disciple making, and mission mobilization. And so really it's just kind of a newfangled way to describe what Dr. Bright and Campus Crusade for years have just said: win, build, and send.
Yeah.
And so we just see the college campus as the primary place on the planet to form a launching pad, to form a sending base. But you really need to have all three of those components in place. And so I do see some college ministries and some church, based collegiate ministries that are strong in E. I see some that are strong in D. But I don't see that many that have all three functioning. And so that's really what we're trying to do with campus ministry today, is somehow how do we encourage, inspire, equip the collegiate body of Christ around the world to really have a full-fledged focus and balance and process really of EDM.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen a drift. I've seen a drift away from those basics and focus on other good things, but perhaps not as foundational. And we only have 4, maybe 5 or 6 years with a student. And a lot of them are not going to get the training in those things, evangelism, discipleship, and mission mobilization. They're not going to get that in any other place. And so we have such a unique opportunity to instill that DNA into students' lives and into other collegiate ministry leaders' lives, the staff that we're training and things like that. Yeah. So that's why I'm just like all in about this EDM concept, and we might as well embrace it and just do all the techno music we can as well. So
let's do it.